welcome back to a very merry Total Spot Fest. Happy holidays, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We do want to wish you and yours the merriest of Christmas, happiest of Hanukkah, a happy Kwanzaa, Merry Saturnalia, Festivus for the rest of us, Yule season,
all the things,
all of them. No, this is our Christmas edition of Total Spot Fest. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. We do appreciate you giving us some of your time. Jamie, first of all, love the antlers. Stellar look.
Yeah, that was an Audrey ask. Audrey said I looked better in these, so she thought that our fans would love them. So there you go.
Oh, wonderful. Well, anyway, we got lots that we want to get to today. AEW had another stellar episode last night. We're going to talk specifics on that here momentarily. Some news going on. We have our male and LGBTQ plus wrestler of the year. Did I get them all?
Yeah, don't forget the plus.
I know the plus. I always the IA throws me off because it's like, do you include the IA? Do you? Sometimes you do. Sometimes you. Anyway,
I've just been doing LGBTQ plus.
Both of those wrestler of the year categories coming up here shortly. Before we get to that, though, it is the holiday season, and Jamie and I recently met in real
season. Whoop de whoop, wacky whack.
How many times you heard Mariah Carey?
More than I'd like to admit. And as fast as I can try to turn it off, it's just like it's on another channel. Like it's just
amazingly
I can't
enough.
it.
I've only heard it a handful of times.
I've heard it a minimum of 17.
Oh wow!
Not all the way through though. Just enough to trigger me. Like like hearing Jim Cornette's voice. Like that kind of trigger.
Poor Mariah being in the same bag with Jim Cornette. Oh.
I mean, it's accurate though.
Well, yeah. Especially this time of year, I'll give you that. So we like to do a little gift exchange every year. So of course, Jamie and I did convene, and we have some gifts to unwrap. I figure let's go ahead and start off with that.
Yes.
Do you want to go first? You want me to go first? How are we going to do this?
You know what? I went first last year, so you can go first this year.
All right. I have elf wrapping paper, which is stellar, by the way. I've already told Jamie that. I was like, that's freaking wonderful. But let's go. All right. Here's to the holidays. Great. By the way, if you are watching us, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We do appreciate it. You leave a comment down below. Let us know what you guys are doing for the holidays. Got any big plans? Like, share, subscribe. All those things. If you want to hit us up on Twitter, if you're listening to us, or you just want to outside of the video platforms, you can definitely do that at Total Spot Fest. We're still on Hive Social, which apparently is still a thing. I know because I started getting a bunch. They didn't update. It basically is an update so they can start putting a bunch of notifications about them still being existing on my phone.
It's been great. Love it so much.
Hey, we're here. Hey, don't forget about us. We're it's like, remember us? We were hot for like a minute. Anyway, at Total Spot Fest. Okay. All right, let's see what we got here. So, I have a gingerbread kit. I don't think that's what it is.
Yes, you do. Yay. Merry Christmas.
It's a gingerbread kit. All right, let me see what we got here. I do this all the time too. My dad gives me shit about using like food boxes from my pantry.
Dude, I recycle boxes like a mother.
It's like, why wouldn't I? It's the perfect size box. It's the thing. All right. So got that. I got you put ribbons of the paper inside of it for some reason.
Yes. Because I figured you'd probably dump it out and dump the ribbons everywhere.
Oh my God, that's amazing. So I got a new phone recently. And Jamie decided to get me a Total Spot Fest branded phone case.
Absolutely. I did it under the guise of I need to understand for work what kind of phone he had so I could order the correct phone case.
See, and because we haven't really talked deep about this. Everybody knows Jamie and I work together, but basically Jamie works on the product side. We're a software company. I work on the operations side, so I deal with customers. Jamie deals with the product. So for him to be like, hey, we're testing a new mobile function, you got a new Android phone. What was that model again? He absolutely did that for me. That's awesome. That's really cool. I see what you're talking about. You said you were slightly disappointed. Is that because you used the previous rendition and not the newest rendition of the logo? It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's going on my phone right now. So.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, it's a pro, so it'll work. I was like, when I got it,
really nice.
Yeah, when I got it, and like I tried to make sure that the color matched and everything, like and then I'm like, oh shit, that's the wrong logo.
It's okay. It's actually the exact same logo that I have on my hat that I made.
See?
And I wear that hat all the time because I'm not going to go out. I had to get that hat like custom made, and it cost me way too much money. So,
yeah,
I appreciate it. Thank you, Jamie. I was actually just talking to my my stepmom about that because she liked like the little like suede that I have on here. And I think it's good and all, but it's like the edges get like really worn down really fast, and it's not adhered correctly, so it's a little sharp in one edge, and it kind of pissing me off. This is I was looking at new cases today, so boom.
There you go.
There we go. We might have that for sale. No, I have no idea. Thank you. That's awesome. Thanks, Jamie.
Awesome.
Cool. All right, your turn. All right. I am extremely proud of this here.
I mean, I don't know if, the present from your champion last year can be topped.
I would show it to you, but it's being hidden by a glorious title belt. That's one of the best presents.
A picture of her with all the belts.
Back when we had the multiples, for those of you who weren't with us
it was priority mail.
I kept it in the box that it got shipped to me in because it was just fucking easier.
And you taped the shit out of it.
You gotta make sure it doesn't open. I'm really bad about that. It drives my sister nuts.
Ah! You have to do some editing.
Oh no, this is staying in. This is the good. This is that good content, y'all. All you content creators out here.
Yes, content creating of watching people try to struggle with fucking tape. Got it.
Yay!
Yay! All right. Okay. All right.
Yeah, just one thing in there. There should be a bunch of like packing and stuff.
Oh my god, dude. It's the Ringmasters Chris Jericho, the Lionheart, the Lion Tamer, with a belt, with everything for the Lion Tamer.
It's the closest I could find to a Lion Tamer action figure.
That is great.
The box is one of the corners is a little banged up, and then above the very top of it, above Chris there, it started to come off from the thing a little bit. So it's not like mint in box, but
and it's still great. Yeah, and then even on the back, like right there, signature move, Lion Tamer.
Yep. Because I was looking around, I was trying to think, and it's like he's got all this horror stuff. I got him something from, I got him Pinhead last year, the Geek Tiki Pinhead, because that just came up on my Amazon thing and it was perfect. But I was like, I don't want to give him another Hellraiser thing or this and that. And I was like, And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stick with the bit.
Which hopefully, maybe the bit on the 29th could end.
This would be the fullest of circles ever. Give you a Lion Tamer, and then we get a Lion Tamer for a victory. That I no longer have to hear Lion Tamer. I still will. I know I will, but not to the.
I mean, I won't. It's dead. Like that is the goalpost.
But once it happens, you will go apeshit when you see one live. After that, even if you aren't calling for it at every independent show we go to.
Oh, it will not be called for. I'm gonna call out a completely different move.
Yep. But so anyway. I started doing some digging. I found that. I looked on eBay, found a good seller, and I was like, Lion Tamer. There you go.
It's awesome. Thank you, sir. That is a great effing gift.
I have no idea if you're going to keep it in box, take it out. Either way, but hey.
You know me. I keep most of my stuff in box.
I made Jamie show me his shelf because I was just like, I was trying to figure it out, right? So anyway, Merry Christmas, Jamie.
Well, Merry Christmas to you as well, sir.
So cool. All right. So let's diverge away. Let's get back into some wrestling. And every week, we don't exchange gifts, but every week we do like to highlight the independent wrestling scene out there, talk about some independent wrestlers that maybe you have heard of, maybe you haven't. Jamie, do you have somebody prepared for our Christmas independent wrestler spotlight of the week?
I do. I really do. And this week, ladies and gentlemen, we're going back into the world of women's wrestling.
All right.
One could say wow, if you would.
Wow.
I
can't.
But anyway, this woman has been all over. Ring of Honor, Shimmer. She's currently in WoW. She has been everywhere. She has been on Impact a couple times. And I'm talking about Ray Lynn.
Hell yeah.
The blue-haired princess, purple-haired princess. Like her hair changes. She is a badass. Based out of Pittsburgh, PA, actually.
Pittsburgh's second favorite daughter. She has Steeler-themed gear as well. I have seen it.
Of course she does.
Of course she does. You pretty much have to if you're from Pittsburgh.
And she's wrestled the who's who of wrestling. And she's obviously currently in WoW right now, along with our good friend Wrecking Ball. They have yet to cross paths, but they soon probably will. And I'm looking forward to that. No, she's an absolute stud, man. Like, she's been in the circuit for what, about 6 years now? 6 years?
5-6 years. Yep. She's an up-and-comer. Is still kind of, I think WoW's kind of her bigger breakthrough a little bit, Like you said, she's appeared on Impact. She's appeared a few things here and there. I think she might have done some dark during the pandemic. I don't remember for sure, but I know there was a lot of women talent that they had there at that time. I think she might have, but she hasn't really been on AEW. But I mean, she's definitely got a future, whether that's in NXT or in AEW. She has definitely been moving up the ranks and getting a lot of recognition. It's well deserved. She's worked her ass off and been following her for a long time. The Pittsburgh thing helps, right? But she's a great. And she goes by, what does she go by in WoW? I forget. Is it Rachel? Rachel. There we go.
Rachel. The worst Friends character.
I don't like Friends.
I'm going to catch a lot of heat for that. Rachel is the worst character in Friends.
I could care less. I don't like Friends at all. I'll catch more heat for that.
Yeah, you probably will.
Maybe. I mean, different.
Like, you're don't watch it, they respect that. But if you watch it and you call out like their favorite person,
I think you'll get more heat because I'm just like, I don't like the thing at all, and you're like, oh, I like it, but her.
Yeah. Damn Skippy. All right. Well, now that we've done
where
that,
I think Jamie, you're forgetting the end, man.
Oh yeah, where to find her? You don't need to find her.
There'll be links down below. I know.
Yeah, no, you can find her everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, Big Cartel, where you can buy all of her stuff. It's at Ray_Lynn. It's LYN, not two N's. It's spelled a little different.
Mm-hmm. Spelled the way my mom spelled her name, LYN.
Yeah, my mom was LYNNE.
Ah, she had the E on there.
Yeah.
My mom always got two N's thrown on hers, and it was like, no, LYN. That was it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So now that we've done this, it's time for us to go back to our continuation of our performers of the year.
Okay.
And today is a 2-4 double dose, double pack, whatever you want to call it. We have the male performer of the year and the LGBTQ plus performer of the year. And we should start off with the male performer of the year. Mm-hmm. Do you have your male performer of the year?
I do. There was several names I was thinking about putting out there with it. A lot of guys had some great years. There was a lot of people who got hurt for significant periods of time throughout the year too. So it did make it a little challenging. You know, I'll be honest with you. I had CM Punk up on that list for the longest time until All Out. Like, you know, because up until then, you look at his year and he put in the work that, you know, we've been wanting from him for a decade. But anyway, my male performer of the year for 2022 is none other than the oosiest member of the tribe, Sami Zayn.
I hate you because that's who I was picking.
Ah! we made sure we weren't going to get the same on the other one, but we did not check this before we recorded.
All right, I have a backup.
Okay, I have another backup too, and we'll get to it. But let's talk about Sami then, since we're going to put him at the top of the list. The man reinvented himself. He has reinvented himself more times than Chris Jericho, it feels like, right?
I would say so.
I mean, he's more or less the same, but he keeps finding ways to get back into it. He is never, since, you know, Independence days, he's never lost a step in ring. He can put on a match with anybody. I know that we don't talk a ton about WWE here. We don't really get into WWE a lot. To be fair, we don't watch it a ton. Just, you know, here and there. You know, more lately, but not as much. That being said, Sami Zayn, you don't envision Sami Zayn being aligned with the Samoan powerhouse that is Roman Reigns and the Usos and all that.
Right.
And he is by far the star of that show. And, you know, if nothing else, he keeps it together. But like I said, he still puts on ridiculous matches. So I'm giving it for Sami. That's my performer of the year.
Sorry, Sami is an excellent pick. As you know, because I was going to pick him as well. He's definitely the oosiest. And he had a renaissance this year. 100% had a renaissance. Like he is somebody now.
Well, we'll put him up there. That's our performer of the year, tandemly. But besides him, who else would you say?
Well, I do have one more.
You do have one more? Okay.
And they are overseas, so obviously that's me.
Okay.
And mine is Mr. Jay White.
Ooh, that's a ridiculously good choice. Let's be honest.
He's had an excellent year. IWGP champion. Him and Okada are getting ready to go against each other. He may or may not drop that and may or may not show up at something else. We'll get into that here in just a minute because I have a few theories. But he has had an excellent year. He was at Forbidden Door, just rocked the house there. He's been in Impact a lot this year, rocked the house there. Like wherever he goes, he is a draw. And he has more abs than any man or woman or child should be allowed to have.
It's not fair.
Not fair.
Him and Finn Balor just have the ab market cornered.
Crap.
It's like, I'll take one.
You know, I'm not selfish. I'll just take one.
Oh, that's what I got. I got one. I got one big ab right here. Just
yeah. I got what's called a pony keg. People have 6-packs, 8-packs. I got a pony keg.
Oh man, Jay White's fantastic choice. What were some other considerations you had when you were thinking about your list?
I was thinking about Matt Cardona. But
okay.
He did more of his stuff last year than this year. I feel like
I'll give that to you. Yeah.
And then my other one was Josh Alexander. He's had a really good year as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I always go with Okada, but like that's not fair.
Right. And I put thought into Moxley. You know, I know MJF. Yeah, you'd want to say MJF, but then again, you know, I think you look at the entirety of the year. Moxley was the solid working person. He worked through all these injuries and personal dramas and was the ship that kept AEW alive. I thought long and hard about saying Jericho too. Jericho, and has made reference to last night on Dynamite, you know, about a few months back, he looked like he had a pony cake going on in his midsection, and he hit the gym and reinvented himself and became ROH champion, you know, out of nowhere, and thrived at that. And
yeah, the only reason I couldn't give it to Jericho is the whole Magic Man shtick.
I'm a wizard.
He's a magician, a wizard. It was so dumb. It was so dumb.
Not everything's
and the Jericho Appreciation Society.
JS is pretty dumb, but it's lasting. You know, and therein lies the testament to why I would say that. Only other name I was thinking about too, potentially, but I agree with you. He had a bigger 21 was better than 22, I think, for him as well. Was Will Ospreay, even though we got to finally see him live this year.
So great. So great.
And that's like your Okada. I can always put Ospreay up there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not fair. Like, he's always going to be a top 10 wrestler no matter what. Like, and as much, you know what's funny though? Like, thinking about this, for as much as we don't watch WWE, we both picked a WWE guy as our performer of the year.
Yeah.
How the irony in
that. It just kudos. It just kind of solidifies that, you know, his performance and his everything was so strong. It got us to be like, yep, that's a winner.
Yes, very true.
I'm not one of those. I don't want to like run away from WWE, right? You know, I grew up on that shit. It just, if they had more stuff going on like Sammy, it'd probably be more likely I'd watch more of it.
Yeah, I mean, and they're getting better, but then the rumors of Vince coming back and them firing somebody for posting pictures of themselves online that they don't get to make a profit on, who now is on track to be a self-made millionaire just from that site before the end of the year.
She's her agent said that she's made $500,000 since her firing.
Yeah.
Off of
cold hard cash in her pocket. In her pocket. Go her. Proud of her.
Go.
You do you, boo.
I said, hey, you know, you can do some sexy time stuff, make a lot of money. It's America. Go for it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. So
So that's our male performers of the year.
Mm-hmm. Now you wanted to throw a curveball, you know, trying to catch a little off guardness going on here. So you added in, which is fine. And well deserved. So LGBTQ plus wrestler of the year. So since you brought that up, I want you to lead us off. Who is your LGBTQ plus wrestler of the year?
So I feel like our show is incredibly inclusive. And, you know, we fight for everybody and we like everybody, you know, for who they are as a wrestler, other than Jim Cornette.
Fuck Jim Cornette.
Yeah, but, you know, it's just one of those things. Like, you know, we like everybody, right? And this this person started out on this meteoric rise throughout the year on the indie circuit. Trained in the Nightmare Factory, started out real small, and the next thing you know, they are main eventing everywhere. They're in GCW, they're AEW, they're everywhere. And that is Kid Bandit. By far the biggest rise of any LGBTQ plus wrestler that I can think of off the top of my head. Like, where they started at to where they are now in the calendar year is insane. Did Prestige, was main eventing Prestige.
I mean, getting
Maki fucking Ito.
Getting retweeted and shouted out by all the biggest names throughout wrestling. Granted, they did have one of the most solidary moments of the year, you know, when that whole, what was that? I can't remember the name of the show, but it was like an all trans show or whatever. And the promoter just shit the bed on everybody. Basically, they came through and did a lot to kind of take care of everybody that was wrestling with that. And that got a lot of attention, as it should have, but it also brought more eyes to Kid Bandit. So you've been familiar with him, and you introduced me to him a while before that happened, and like, because you would long say, you know, you want to see him in Journey Pro, and so you check him out. So I did, and I'm like, that's a great gimmick. I love this kid. Fantastic.
Yeah, and Kid Bandit right now is actually full on going through a transition too. Like, it's kind of fun. Like, their Twitters are great. Big anime person, like. they're worth every they're awesome.
Yeah.
So definitely my LGBTQ plus wrestler of the year, Kid Bandit Pro.
Fantastic choice. Great choice, Jamie. Mine's a little bit more on the nose, but I don't think that it can be, dissuaded because of that. Because if you think about this person, where they started the year at, physically and career-wise, and where they are ending the year at, is not quite the same as Kid Bandit, but you could argue is just as much of a turnaround. And that is one half of the current AEW World Tag Team Champions, Anthony Bowens. First of all, that shirt, okay, a testament to something that started off randomly out of nowhere, got quickly kiboshed by the network and Tony Khan, and then they just organically brought it back. And the whole scissor me daddy ass thing began at the beginning of the year when, because he was hurt. He had ACL or MCL, an L.
ACL injury, I think.
One of the L's was jacked up in his knee. And but they had kind of paired him up with the Guns and with, Billy Gunn. And he just slipped it out, scissor me daddy ass, because he was the one wheeling him to the ring for Max Caster's matches. It caught on, and to take that and run with it, plus to start off the year, like we talked about, being injured, going through all that, coming back stronger, and being, he is a workhorse on that team. We've long gushed about the Acclaim go back, watch the tapes, for more than this year, right? We have been saying that they are tag team of the future. I threw out there, they're a modern day 3D or, Dudley Boys, right? Is what they reminded me of. And Anthony is the workhorse of the team, and he embodies that, and, taking it to be the hottest thing in wrestling and being a comfortable, very out gay man on top of the wrestling world is amazing. It really is.
100%.
Gay black man on top of the wrestling world. This man wouldn't even be in a ring 25 years ago. Nope, not you, son. Number one shirt on ProWrestlingTees.com. Hottest thing in every arena. Kudos, Anthony. Max, you too, but we're talking about... this is on the nose. You're absolutely right. Anthony Bowens has had a meteoric year. And that's the thing. Kid Bandit was indie circuit wise huge. And then you had this guy on the main, on the main stage, just absolutely tearing it up too. So yours is definitely on the point. What he was able to do, I think he's the first ever outwardly gay wrestler to hold a championship in any major promotion. I believe
is that accurate?
So male. Gay male.
Yeah, so correct. And to hold on to it and be this over number one in merch, come on, man.
It's on the nose, but it's kind of, it needs to be said. So what were some other ones you had considerations for, though?
Max the Impaler was really high on my list. Obviously, I got Max right there. Going to Japan.
Yeah.
Max is awesome. That was probably my other big one.
You always think about
Effie and Alley Cat are always high.
And that's like Okada and Ospreay. It kind of almost feels like cheating, right?
Yeah. It's when in doubt, say Effie.
True. For what it's worth, Effie did have another fantastic year. Alley, I think, had an even better year. I would argue. She's saying,
too.
Yeah, because I think that her year really spawned from the Hammerschmidt Ballroom show where she fought her quote unquote dream match against Ruby Soho, Ruby, and from that point forward, she really started broadening her horizons and expanding her single stuff a lot more too, right? She's inside of Wrestling Revolver on her own in a different sort of faction away from Effie, right? So she doesn't need Bussy to get over. So I would argue she'd be
and
up
like
there.
she reinvented herself not that long ago from Alley Cat to Alley Catch, and basically since then she is completely changed and gotten so much bigger. To your point,
Those great matches. The matches with Sawyer Wreck was another one. Sawyer Wreck's one who I would put on there. Also, I was going to give a shout out to, Nyla Rose, we talk a lot about, in the past, but
Nyla.
On the flip side of that coin, I also had some considerations for Giselle Shaw, the first openly trans performer to be signed by Impact Wrestling. So, and I'm not going to lie, first time I saw Giselle Shaw, first couple of weeks, no idea she was trans.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't matter because, she's a great talent. So
absolutely.
I have some thoughts for her too, but I think that anybody we just talked about, male, LGBTQ plus, well with your time. Look at some of their matches if you're not familiar with any of these names that we just mentioned to you. Hopefully you know them all and you agree with us 100%. Or you have somebody else. Give us a comment. Give us a tweet. Give us a hive buzz, whatever it's called.
Buzz? Give us a buzz on Hive.
I mean, that would be the terminology I think would fit, right?
It'd make the most sense. It's logical. Send out a buzz. Buzz everybody. Feeling kind of buzzed right now.
Company's not going to make it. Anyway, so next week we have Women's Wrestler of the Year. But Jamie, I feel like doing one after we've done two is not going to cut it.
Okay.
So I want to add to that women's wrestler. We're going to do the top women's wrestlers of the year. Also, though, we talked about matches. We talked about men. We talked about tag teams. LGBTQ plus. What about those individual moments? Those breakthrough moments of the year.
So moments of the year?
Yeah. What are some of your moments of the year? Or we could do up and comers.
Okay.
Or we could do all three.
Well, like my match of the year was a moment. Like it would be my moment of the year too.
All right. Well, then let's try away because that's a good point. Moments and matches tend to kind of go together. But there are up and comers.
Yeah, I think I like Rising Star of the Year.
Breakthrough performer, whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah, breakthrough.
So, in addition to women, let's do that. Let's do breakthrough, up and coming performers of the future. It's probably something.
Love it.
I turned into AEW's naming convention department there.
Yes. The breakthrough performer of the year eliminator bracket sub hematoma.
Did you catch what they're calling the battle royal next week?
No.
We'll talk about it later. It is stupid. Or on Friday. It's stupid long. All right. Okay, we got AEW. You got some news you wanted to get to though, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I had a couple only one thing I wanted to get to, and I'm gonna let you dive into it. I teased you earlier. Wow. So I was perusing around Twitters earlier, and I caught across somebody who had tweeted this out earlier yesterday. Women of Wrestling has reached a new viewership high since its relaunch back in September. Viewership totals for the December 10th episode have been revealed. This is from WrestleNomics, by the way. They report that the show pulled an average of 358,000 viewers in syndication. 60,000 roughly of those were between 18 and 34, which means they garnered a 0.05 demo rating. This surpasses their previous high mark of 334,000. That was a show back in October. So once again, wow, killing it.
Keep up the good work. Wow.
On Saturday nights at 9:00, at least for us in syndication.
Yes, and we want more Wrecking Ball. That's all there is to it. More Wrecking Ball. But yes, I do have some other news that I would like to get into.
All right, what do you want to talk about?
And So, I don't know if you saw this, but Wrestle Kingdom, the U.S. Championship, will be defended by Carl Anderson.
Uh-huh. He successfully
Well,
defended it on their a show from last month or something.
yeah. So Wrestle Kingdom's kind of a big deal. Rumor has it that at the Royal Rumble, somebody is going to be coming through the forbidden door.
Oh, you're thinking, okay. All right.
So there's been a few names floated around. One male and one female, particularly.
Okay.
And I find them very interesting. I'm going to start with the female. We've been talking about this female showing up on AEW in January. And that's Kairi Sane, the current IWGP Women's Champion, who has a really good relationship with a lot of people over in WWE.
She didn't leave on bad terms. You're absolutely right. She left on her own, too. It was her decision to not renew and go over to Japan. Go back to Japan Wrestling.
She went home.
Okay. I could see that easy. What's the male name?
And have her in there for a while. And
Yeah. I mean, a little bit. She ain't going to win, but yeah.
The other one, though, I found very curious, and that's Jay White.
Okay, that would surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Because it's another notch in the belt. And Jay White's the type of person who would want to notch all those notches.
And the pop he would get in WWE, especially if him and Cody Rhodes are going face to face. Any Bullet Club people know what's up with that.
I mean, that would be huge. That would be huge. Do you think
but the Bullet Club in WWE, they wouldn't be able to do that. I mean, he wouldn't be able to do. He'd be Jay White, Switchblade, but it wouldn't be Bullet Club.
Yeah, if Jay White was there, it'd be a one-time thing anyway. I strongly think. Do you think there's any smoke to that fire? Honestly,
his contract's coming up here before too long. He is going to be a free agent. I don't know. I feel like Kairi Sane's the safe play.
Yeah, and they've shown from last year when they had Mickie James in there as the current Impact champion, that they're willing to dabble their toes a little bit, as long as it's not, because that was all she appeared in too, right? I think she might have showed up on Raw after, but that was it.
And typically the Royal Rumble, I hate to say this is going to sound completely sexist, and I don't mean to sound sexist. Hopefully you understand where I'm coming from. It's easier to get men to be in the men's Royal Rumble than it is to get women in the women's Royal Rumble, because typically the women's roster is much smaller.
Yep.
This would be a much easier one to get. If they get Kairi Sane, just so I don't have to hear, you can look, but you don't touch. I'm good.
You mean WWE Hall of Famers, Nikki and Brie Bella? That just...
Botch of fame.
Botch of fame. Oh my God. And the all the Scuttlebug is all about, because WrestleMania is in LA next year, right? It's long been rumored that The Rock is going to challenge Roman Reigns in LA. That's been talked about for 3 years now, right?
Yep.
So everybody's talking about The Rock showing up at Royal Rumble, whether it's in the match or if it's whatever. I see him come in as number 30. I could see that in a heartbeat, right?
People are saying Cody Rhodes could be 30 because he's actually training and he's solid 240 right now.
I could see him too, but I don't know I don't know. It's like Jay White, I hear you. Who else could they send if it is going to be in somebody New Japan related? Kota Ibushi maybe, right? But
you got to think about who's got the name recognition that WWE people will know.
I mean, would WWE people even really know Jay White then, for what it's worth?
Oh, they know who Jay White is, especially with AJ Styles and Finn Balor, Carl Anderson. Everybody knows who Jay White is. Jay White is a recognizable person. Here's the thing. WWE fans, Okada shows up, they wouldn't know what the hell the coin drop was.
Right. Which is why I ask about Jay White. I'm like, how would they know
but
about
Jay White? People know who Jay White is.
Okay.
I mean, and Will Ospreay and Ricochet round 2.
No, I don't think people would know who Will Ospreay is either.
Yeah, it's Jay White or bust. People know who Jay White is.
Okay. And I'll give you that. Of all of them, he might be the one that they might know. That's once again, I don't know if they'll have anybody. Women's side, I can absolutely see.
Kairi Sane is a safe play. That's my money's on Kairi Sane.
I think that they're banking more on. I would put more money on The Rock than I would on anybody from New Japan. That's my opinion. Speaking of New Japan, did you read the further details about the whole Sasha Banks situation there?
No.
So, what she's as of this recording, December 21st, and if you're listening, it's the 22nd. She's already over in Japan, getting ready, like physically over in Japan. Apparently, contract negotiations fell through at WWE sometime late summer. And it was mostly centered around she wanted the same deal that Bayley, not Bayley, Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair got, as in days worked and money. And WWE balked on both of those. Money should have never been an issue. The days worked. I would almost argue she has more right to more days off than Charlotte and Becky. Becky's a new mother, so I get that. But, I mean, Sasha Banks is a legitimate future star in other media types out there, right? Yes, I know she's only had a little part in The Mandalorian and a couple little things here and there, but let's be real, people. Let's be real. Because of that, talks fell through, and so apparently this has been in the works that she actually has officially not been part of WWE for a while. We're just waiting for the non-compete to go up, which it expired in November, from what these sources are saying, as reported by Fightful Select and a bunch of others as well too. So I tend to believe it.
Same,
but not worth the money or the days off that. The same amount of money and the same amount of days off that Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair get.
So, crazy. I mean, I could argue with Becky, because Becky is a superstar right now and a new mother, to your point. I don't get the Charlotte comparison. Charlotte only got that big money and everything because of who her papa was.
Right.
I think she's an okay wrestler. I don't think she's all that. I think Sasha's a much better wrestler. I think Bayley's a much better wrestler. And I mean, people can hate me on it for all they want. I feel like Charlotte is okay.
The justification for not giving that to Sasha is just mind-boggling to me. So, does that mean we'll see her outside of New Japan, AEW or something? It's a possibility. I still tend to think she might do a little pop-in, right? She might pop in LA, be Soraya's teammate. She might make an appearance here and there, but I don't think she's going to officially sign with anybody for a little bit. Kind of test the waters, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. What else you got?
So my other piece of news: have you been following the Matt Riddle
Not a ton. I mean, I'm somewhat familiar with a little bit of it. He had substance abuse, or there was a substance violation, whatever.
Yeah, so he failed his second drug test.
That's what. Yeah.
And then he just recently has a new girlfriend because his wife and all that's in shambles, right?
That blew the fuck up.
Well, he's dating a porn star or adult entertainer. I apologize.
Oh, okay.
And she posted on Twitter just blasting him for making out with another adult entertainer, and going to rehab.
Oh shit!
Even though he said he's not going to rehab or anything like that. So word around the campfire is homeboy's in rehab right now. And Matt Riddle actually posted some kind of statement about it. I'm trying to pull it up. It is just not letting me. Oh, there it goes. My computer's my stuff's freezing. Not my computer, but here it is. All right. So he goes, I've been working a lot on myself lately, and saying I've been saying no and setting boundaries for the first time ever, and certain people aren't happy about it. But I couldn't be healthier or happier. Thank you all for your support.
Okay. I mean, I pulled it up real fast here too. I'm looking at it as well. Oh, there's also another social media influencer and OnlyFans creator that's in the middle of this as well.
Yeah, Ivy Malibu.
Wow. Wow. Keep it in your pants.
Like, he's been dating Jordan Max. Right. And then he's been having pictures lately with Ivy Malibu, which I guess he told Jordan he loved her like 2 months ago, and now he's hanging out with some other lady. Like, dude's got issues. I hope he gets it all figured out. Like, yeah.
I mean, there's actually a lot of names here. It's like, wow. Which, hey, I get it, right? Sure, right? If you can. But my God, man.
Yeah. He's something else, man. He is something else right now.
I mean, this is a man that has basically the WWE that has gotten the WWE to release 420 branded stuff on their website. The WWE, mind you, right? And
wow. And the wellness thing that he got busted for is not weed.
It was coke, right?
Yeah.
That's why I'd heard that he had failed that it was for coke. Because I think they relaxed their stance on weed specifically because of some of the places.
As they should.
Well, everybody should, I mean, but it's one of those things. It's a problem NFL is running through right now too, because there's so many places where it is legal. It's legal here, but it's not legal there. But it's legal here, but it's not legal there. But it's kind of legal here, and it's like one day that'll be behind us. But still, to the point, WWE, who famously has like pigeonholed people for weed violations all the time, right? Releasing 420 theme stuff because of Matt Riddle, and now he just hops from porn star to porn star. So. Wow. Talk about wasted ass talent, man. One of the most talented people I've ever seen.
He might be able to get it all figured out, which I hope he does. Because
if he's getting help for it, let's go. Let's give him benefit of the doubt, for sure.
Yeah.
Of course, he still has a job. I'm still bitter about that. Even though I know she's making buttloads of money. Still bitter about that. Anyway.
It's kind of dumb.
Did you have any other news you wanted to roll into?
That's all I had, man. That's all I had in the world of news.
Yeah. Well, I didn't really have anything else to add to that. I wanted to just bring up that one little tidbit about WoW. Wow.
Wow.
let's take a quick shift here. Let's go talk about AEW. So last night was the Holiday Bash edition of Dynamite, and bash they did. Jamie,
they sure as shit did. There was the good, there was the bad.
There was bad.
And then there was the ugly. Like, that was just...
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we want to save the best for last, for sure.
Which it was the last part of the show. Like, I'm not even going to lie. That women's match, holy shit. So...
What do you want to start with?
Ricky Starks. I guess him and Jericho are going to be fighting each other now.
Well, I thought you might have had some issues with this.
Because remember we talked about last week, where is he going to go?
Exactly. And to his credit, he even comes out and starts the promo by saying he knows that he has to work his way up, right? He should have had the old, fine, I'm going to pull up my bootstraps and go to work mentality, right? Britt Baker did the exact same thing when she came back from a broken nose during the pandemic to get the championship originally, right? Cool. It's just then the curveball of your first feud's going to be against Jericho. Okay.
Jericho's a rite of passage, though.
I don't hate this. Just wasn't expecting it.
He's the rite of passage. Every single current champion has feuded with Jericho. Every last one of them, other than Punk.
Which I get it, and that's fine. Like I said, I have no problem with this as a whole. It just was, okay, a little unexpected.
Yeah, like it was just kind of thrown in there. So it was just, yeah. So that was okay. Match 5 of the best of 7 series ended exactly like we expected.
But that was I love that match.
It was amazing. And Nick Jackson selling the shit out of that foot. Oh.
I mean, there was a tinsel barbed wire. That's always good fun. And you even had a Brandon Cutler on Alex Abrahante's violence.
It was great. It was great. Like, this match was fun. So, like, yeah, we're going to start off with okay, then we're going to get good here. This is good. This is great. Awesome hype match. Got us going. Elite win. So we move on to match 6, and then eventually we're going to get to Escalara de la Muerte, like somebody called. But whatever. I'm not going to bring that up every single time. But after the match, that's when things also got good. Death Triangle definitely is going full heel. Just beat the shit out of him, got him all bloody. It was a nice sight.
You saw Phoenix accept the hammer and kind of buy into the heel thing finally. So
yeah,
they're all in.
Yeah, and then you had, I would consider this bad, face Bryan Danielson.
This was a weird moment.
It was really weird. The best part of that whole entire thing was when Stokely Hathaway and Ethan Page come out, and Stokely Hathaway just called him a raggedy bitch. Like, that was the best part of the whole thing. He's like, you raggedy bitch. I'm like, oh my God, that's the best thing ever.
I mean, first of all, I didn't realize Ethan Page was getting that sort of heat.
Either did I.
Which I'm like, good for him, man. Get that heat. Go. Right?
Yeah, I love me some Ethan Page. So.
But because of all that, it just kind of went sideways the whole bit. And I get the point. Honest to God, the point that Page made makes sense. I guess. I just don't get this. This is they're trying to find filler for this because they don't want to rush Danielson, MJF
for Revolution.
They're pushing that to Revolution, which is in March, so they don't want to put. I get it. It's just, it is what it is.
You raggedy bitch.
Your comment earlier about Chris Jericho, was it because Action Andrade had a promo backstage with Tony Schiavone, which was actually not a bad promo. The kid could talk slow. But he could talk, okay. And then he ends up getting a fireball in the face from Jericho. A really wicked fireball, too, I will say. But still a fireball nonetheless.
Because he's a wizard, ladies and gentlemen. He's a wizard! So the next part of the show is definitely for all the ladies out there. all the ladies, including the women in my house, because they're like, oh my Hook, he's so hot. So Hook, aka Hansel, Went out there and beat Exodus Prime's ass, which I think that's a great name, Exodus Prime. Such a great name. Sorry. But yeah. And then Lee Moriarty and Big Bill are beat the shit out of Jungle Boy. JP.
Sure.
JP.
It's fine. It's fine. It's whatever. It's not, like I said, it's a lot of that's just your filler. You're also trying to put Hook over. So you're putting him and Jungle Boy together, sort of, right? Okay, fine. Whatever. I didn't read too much into it. I didn't really care too much either, though.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, Jungle Boy's giving Hook a rub. But I really feel like, I mean, that's what they're wanting to do. But I think right now where the crowd is with Hook.
Jungle Boy a rub.
Yes. 100%. Isn't that weird? He's a pillar. He's supposed to be a pillar.
Okay, well, we need to run away from this whole pillar talk. I think, though, that the opening of the pillars to, like, the internet circle to being, like, an actual thing they run through on TV to, like, a cornerstone of, I think that pillar is something that we should talk about, but is never really acknowledged. But then they acknowledged it. They sold T-shirts of it. And now it's like expected to be 4 pillars, right? And it's going to constantly change every fucking year. I don't want to dwell on that because it's one of those things. When you look back, who was the ones that carried it? Like, we can look back on Monday Night Wars and say WWE, that was Triple H, Stone Cold, The Rock, right? Boom, boom, boom. Those 3, interchangeable, right? While it was happening, every week it could have changed, right? You know, Stone Cold's out because he's injured, and there's this, and there's Jericho, and you got them. And in the end of the day, though, come back. So let's not focus on the pillar talk, honestly. I don't think that does any good. I think that it's just a better way to take 2 guys who are popular because they're pretty and try and get them more popular on a bigger scale.
That's fair. After this was a confusing match, honestly. The Jon Moxley Darius Martin match. I didn't quite understand the point of this. Like, is it just to make John look tough, or was he trying to give Darius a rub?
Well, they're trying to build up for Rampage because this Friday on AEW Rampage Holiday Bash is their $300,000 Three Kings Christmas Casino Trios Battle Royal.
I'm sorry?
$300,000 Three Kings Christmas, that's the sponsor, Casino Trios Battle Royal. So remember how they did a tag team battle royal last year on the Christmas? Well, this year they're doing a trios version. The Blackpool Combat Club and AR Fox with Top Flight are 2 of the teams that are in it, as well as the Dark Order, Rush's Incurgnabio de Familia, whatever. I don't know what the fuck it's called. The Best Friends, you know, all of them, right? So the winner gets $300,000 apparently, and this is your kind of like warm-up match for that battle royal. Sure. Why couldn't you do Wheeler versus this guy? That's a better match.
I would have thought Wheeler and him would have matched up much better because Moxley just beat the shit out of him for 10 minutes.
I think it just put Moxley on TV, which that poor man is not going to ever have a vacation.
I mean, his wife was on TV. She looked great. It's good to see Get Over Renee back.
It is. Maybe that was the thing. It's like, well, you're not getting a vacation anytime soon. I guess I'll come to work with you then. Let's go.
Yeah. Good to see my wife every day makes it easier. Okay, so I'm going to call this one bad, and I hate to call it bad, but I'm calling it bad.
Guns and FTR?
Yes.
I didn't have a lot. Awful. Did you have a problem with the match itself, or was it just the ending?
I didn't get it. The match was fine. It was not coordinated. Like, it just definitely didn't. It felt off center, off kilter, the entire thing.
I'll give you that.
But like, okay, so they're building the guns up now. Like the FTR is giving the guns a rub. Like what's up with all these people giving rubs to other people? Like, are these like, is this for something that we don't know about that's coming? Like, is FTR really going to leave when their contract expires here in a few months?
I mean, it could be that. It could just be. It could be the downtrodden storyline, right? Because they even made mention FTR's lost 3 in a row, right? They lost to the Acclaimed in an excellent match. They lost the ridiculous double dog collar match. Now they've lost to the Guns. You know, it's the whole downtrodden thing. Maybe they are out. I don't know. I didn't hate the idea of the Guns winning, though, if they're going on that angle. That was my thought.
Yeah, like, but again, it feels kind of thrown together. Like, they didn't have time to build up to, like, this was going on. Like, no little small FTR promo talking about it. Nothing. It was just, here, you're going to lose to the Guns.
I generally had a problem. Like, I liked a lot of this stuff. I liked this match as a wrestling match, better than you did. I thought it was a pretty decent match. I felt like a lot of the show, though, like, I feel like the Elite and Death Triangle ran long. And I think they were saving a bunch of time for the last two things of the night. One of them deservedly so, the other not so much. But I think everything in the middle kind of got a little haphazard. It felt like they were rushing through it, some stuff here and there. Moxley came out while Hook was still leaving the ring, pretty much. They were just like, we got to get this shit done. We got too many things on the docket. So I think they had a timing issue.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. It might not go officially in the bad category, but it's feeling kind of bad.
It's on there. I want to see if it plays into a bigger story. If not, it's 100% bad. I'm with you.
Yeah, like, I want to see where it goes from here. But one thing I definitely don't want to see where it goes from here is the next segment. That was fucking terrible. First F-bomb of the night, damn it. Speaking of F-bombs, Rick Ross drops a F-bomb on live TV.
Just looks at Keith Lee, goes, "You're a big motherfucker." And Tony Schiavone just like, and even Keith Lee's just like,
no, you can't say that.
Love you some Rick Ross, man. But first of all,
so Keith Lee, Swerve, Rick Ross.
Don't care. I don't care about this. Is like they've been dragging their dicks on this fucking thing for 3 months now.
And then now magically,
nobody cares.
Magically, Swerve is a faction leader of the Mogul affiliates.
Good logo.
And one of them is Parker Bardot, who, by the way, when I saw him come in there, I was like, oh, it's that one guy. And I'm like, oh, I see why WWE released him. Oh my God. Like, he hit him like, like he oversold his own hitting of somebody. I'm like, you're not supposed to oversell your own shit, bro. Like, right. It was bad. Oh,
for a guy
bad.
Who in pictures looks like fucking Brock Lesnar, standing next to Keith Lee, not so much, bro.
Yeah, he looked kind of tiny compared to him. And then some other dude. I don't even know who the other dude is.
No idea who that guy is.
Dude number 2 with tattoos.
It's like a Parker Boudreaux copy, but with more tattoos.
Yeah, and teeth, like the Skittle teeth.
Grill.
Fuck, I don't know.
Skittle teeth. I have no idea what Skittle teeth means.
Like, they're different colors. They look like Skittles.
Oh,
like one's yellow, one's green, one's blue.
Like your mouth guard in.
Well, no. Like, it's like metal.
Also, he had grill, but it was like done in different colors.
Yeah,
That's a weird.
I think
grill.
I don't fucking know.
Either way, it was
god awful.
Well,
god awful.
This whole feud has been god awful with the way that they've handled it, right? Because when this first happened, it was what New York City, right? This is when it all started.
Yep.
He first turned on him, and it felt abrupt at the time, but he could have run with it, right? They decided not to. But okay, so you put it in your back pocket and you come back to it. But instead of doing that, they've done this like half in, half out bullshit for 3 months. Give them 2 runs with the fucking tag titles in the middle of all that. And then continue to kind of pussyfoot around it till we get here. Honestly, going into this, I could have cared less. I didn't give a shit. And for some reason, Swerve, who I have nothing but praise for in the ring, and usually with his character building and everything else, I don't know. It's like he forgets how to cut a promo in WWE or in AEW, right?
Yeah, it's kind of bad.
It's really bad. And this was timed terribly too, with Rick Ross sitting there killing time waiting for Swerve to show up, which is, no offense to Rick Ross, he's not a wrestling talent, so it's not his game. So it just, the whole thing sucked. The crowd was not into it at all.
At all.
The only thing
Parker
I liked was
Bardo got no reaction. The other dude got no reaction. It was
right. The Rick Ross saying "motherfucker" got a reaction, and then yes, the spot at the end was pretty bad looking. It was pretty sick looking, right? A double foot stomp onto a cinder block on Keith Lee's chest while he's sitting on the stairs. Yeah, big spot, cool, right?
Took him forever to get there.
Nobody gave a shit about anything else.
Nope.
They were smart. They just run away with this. Okay, you got your own faction doing the thing. Do it. Put Keith Lee in something else. Put Keith Lee up against Joe or Wardlow, whichever one of those is going to have the belt after in a month, whatever, right?
It's going to be the king of television.
Which, yes, Joe Keith Lee, I want to see that.
Everybody does.
So much. Let's see it. That's what they need to do. Get away from this, because this was fucking horseshit.
Yeah. Yeah. For all of us. Hey, you want to talk about something good, though?
I want to. And I am so glad that the night went the way that it did. It's only one women's match, but they ended with
one women's match. Last week, you and I both agreed this match should have been the main event. And Tony Khan got it right.
Mm-hmm.
And did he not only get it right, he knocked it out of the damn park. These two women put on one of the best matches I have personally watched on Dynamite in a long time.
Absolutely.
Pay-per-view quality.
They gave it time. Plus 20-minute match. Covered 2 commercial breaks. Right? Everything about this match was fantastic. Seriously.
The ending was amazing. Like the roll through to a pickup power bomb on Shida for a 2 count. Then she goes for a big clothesline for another 2 count. Then she does her ripcord for the win. Hayter retains. But like that whole ending was like, after 20 minutes, they still had enough in the tank to run that.
Just
was
barely.
Impressive.
I mean, and they everything was paced wonderfully. They did the commercial, the pictures just right, with one of the women being dominant during it, right? You had great moments for Shida. Shida really looked fantastic.
Shida looked amazing.
I mean, you had a little bit of Brit interference like you'd expect, but it didn't affect anything in the match really. So it was good. It wasn't.
Yeah, Brit got hit with a kendo stick.
Right. Everything about this match was exactly what you and I have been clamoring for. It's proof that this women's division could carry it. Because the crowd was hot to trot for this shit too. They were into it the whole time.
Which I think is hilarious because the segment before they could give 2 shits about, but this thing, my God, they went ballistic for. Like, so as soon as Shida came out, first off, I do want to call out, I do not remember ever Shida wearing black gear.
Oh, okay.
She always wears white and red, or a silver and red, like some kind of red-white variant. Sure. I've never seen her wear a black. And man, like she brought out that like Sith warrior in her, man. Like she just was going after it. It was good shit. Oh, okay. Good Shida.
Shida looked fantastic. Hayter proved why, it's the right choice to give her the belt as well. She proved that she can lead. She's been cutting great promos, commercials. Everything about her character has been good, and it's been all independent of Britt, which I love. But my God, this, I don't know what else to say. I mean, this was everything we wanted. This is what we've been clamoring for. Why we've been yelling, because we know that this is it. This is there. This is available. You have this on your roster, and they showed you why. So, so good.
Oh, I know. And then after the match, you had the Shida getting the crap kicked out of her. And then here comes Toni Storm, which is great to see. Hey, Tony, a Tony sighting. I was here in a few weeks. Then they start attacking her with the belt, and they're getting ready to attack, hit her in the face with the belt. And then here comes Saraya, almost called her Paige. Saraya comes out and clears. And I will have to say, her super kick on Britt looked pretty damn good.
She did better in that one move than she did in her entire match, on her debut match.
Yeah. Wow. So it looks like we're setting up for a 6-person tag match or something of that nature.
Well, do you think this is also a fail-safe for that LA tag match?
Yeah. So it could be Tony. It could be Shida. If they can't get somebody else.
They can't get Mercedes.
Yeah.
So honestly, other than Mercedes, I like the idea of Kyrie, but other than Mercedes, I don't know who else they would bring in.
I think it's too small of a spot for Mercedes, to be honest with you.
They're putting a lot into their LA show.
They are, but I'm saying,
just say it. You think that for her, she'd want to be pay-per-view or bust?
Yeah, I mean, would you pay money to see her show up? Or would you rather people get it for free?
I'd rather put on... See, but in that case, I don't want it to be known, so I could get the buys.
Well, we were at an all-out, sir, that happened to have 2, and the buys were huge for
3,
it, because
actually.
there was rumors that one Adam Cole Bebe and Bryan Danielson
there was 3. Don't forget Ruby.
Ruby. And Ruby. Yeah, hi Ruby. Hi Ruby.
True. But they also had other ways to sell that pay-per-view. You're probably right. But I don't know. The way that they're building up this show, Escalada de la Muerte, Saray's second match, I mean, they're building it up pretty big, so... I think it makes sense that if she's not going to be there, you have Tony and or Shida as viable options, right?
That makes sense. I don't blame him to give himself some safety.
Yeah, and maybe there's a different thought. Maybe there's a different plan, man. Maybe we're completely off. Maybe you guys have a better idea. Give it to us. Let us know.
Yeah, maybe.
Overall, what'd you think of Dynamite? I mean, the ending was... We agree. Ending was fantastic.
So I would say if you threw out the Swerve thing, it's a solid show. Because of the Swerve thing, it dropped it considerably because of that thing sucking so bad. It went from a solid show to it was an okay show.
Yeah. If anybody disagrees with us on this whole Swerve, don't get me wrong, I love Swerve. I think though it's almost criminal that you have these promotions who are very obviously trying to tap into and capture market share within the hip hop world. Okay? And for some reason they are failing miserable at it. Right? I mean, WWE had a good thing with Hit Row when he was in NXT, and then they could let him go. And they brought him back, and it's never really been the same since, right?
Not even close.
Special Top Dollar trying to do a suicide dive. Did you see that gif? The worst suicide dive I have. I mean, who's higher than Top Dollar? Well, the top rope's probably hotter than your ass because you can.
Yeah, that was more of a literal Chope Suicida.
Oh my god! But they even mid card madness over there a little bit, and then this whole thing with Swerve, right? Like this should be done. You got connections, right? You got Rick fucking Ross on TV, right?
He's kind of a big deal.
How can this be a miss? And this was the biggest miss they've had in like fucking law. I mean, I just don't get it. It's like, why is it that they are swinging out? Do you have any explanation for why that is? I mean,
I can't figure it out. Like I legit when I sit there and think about it, I cannot figure out how they miss so hard. Like it could just be as simple as this. They're ran by a whole bunch of white dudes who are just out of touch.
Right. They're trying to make it like too PC and they're too afraid of the black guys going off. So we got to, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, you guys let us know what you think. Give us a comment down below. Give us a tweet. Give us a buzz. Whatever the hell that thing is. We don't even check Hive. Sorry. Yeah, but we will get a notification if you do holler at us. But anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Final thoughts, Jamie.
Everybody enjoy your Christmas, your Hanukkah, your 8 crazy nights, your Kwanzaa, your Festivus, whatever you're into. Enjoy your time with your friends, family. Don't drink and drive. Watch wrestling and try to convince a cousin, niece, nephew, somebody like that to do a lion tamer on somebody else in your family. Or put them in one, even better. They're flexible.
And if you're part of like the 2/3 of the country where it's going to be like obliterating and cold, stay warm. Don't leave the house. Fucking just bundle your ass up inside.
I mean, I'm not leaving today. It's supposed to be wind chills of negative 27, 30, negative 30.
Today and then tomorrow. By Christmas Eve, it's supposed to be all right, here. Like, still cold as fuck, but survivable cold as fuck. And then next week, it'll be 57. I don't know if you saw that. For the last Journey Pro show. So don't forget, December 29th, 1 week from tonight. If you're listening to us on Thursday, that is 1 week. Final Journey Pro show at the Agnes, 7 p.m. Come enjoy one final send off. We only have that one match announced. There's a lot that's going to happen. Chris has told us, that he wants to keep a lot of his surprise, right? It's going to be a lot of fan service. We already know that, right? But a lot of surprises coming in store. So come join us December 29th, 7 p.m. Agnes for one final Journey Pro show. That's all we got, folks. We'll be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. We'll talk a little bit more about that if we get more news on the Journey Pro show. Probably not, but we'll talk a little more about that. We got the end of the year stuff going on with wrestling shows. We got some more of our end of the year picks we'll give to you there and see where it takes it. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We do appreciate you guys giving us some of your time. Jamie, go ahead and send us home with the merriest Christmas ever.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not down with Total Spotfest, I got 2 words for you. Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas, y'all. See you next week.
Peace.